Let's light a green candle for the awesome trade that was predicted. All right, you can sit there, old candle. All right, guys, we're going to be getting straight into the Bitcoin analysis today. We've had quite an eventful past day here locally in the Bitcoin price action. There's a lot to cover. I was showing my trade in the last video. You can see exactly where I entered and what exactly I've done. Now, I'm going to show you what I've done since then and the profits I've taken, what I'm expecting next, etc, etc, etc. Even learnings that you can learn from my mistakes, slight little rookie mistakes I've also made on this trade, even though it's been quite a profitable trade, okay? So stay tuned, guys. Let's dive into the charts. We're going to be going over order flow. We're going to be going over trading view and finding out levels. Not much has changed in terms of technicals from yesterday, but we're going to highlight the new introductions of what's happened with the price action, 4-minute plan, and I did find some really good levels too, which I do want to show you. Okay, so let's go to the charts. All right, we are here. All right, let's go. I just want to show the video where we were last time. So we were here. A lot of traders will also be looking at this coming into this region, take out these lows, enter this fair value gap here. So FVG. So that was around 112,000. We've since come down, and you know what do you expect? You've come down, hit those levels, okay? Which was around this at 112. So same sort of thing around 112ish down there. Now I want to go what I'm expecting now for the price. Yada yada yada. So I'm going to show you straight up off the bat what position I'm in, what's happened. So basically, we were following this from yesterday. What I ended up doing was taking some profit down at this low. So I shorted here. Took profit on the short, and I was going for the compound, and I admittedly did the compound too early. There was levels up higher, there was liquidity up higher, and I took the compound too early. Now that being said, it was still a profitable compound, and it wasn't that big of a compound. So when you do these compound trades, you never want to put like a really giant size, in my opinion. So I always tend to do a small size in my original positioning size. Okay, so regardless of the fact, I also did, when I compounded, I also closed it a little bit too early. So on this candle here at this low, because I was going to bed. That's my honest reason. It's like the time zones in Australia aren't the best, right? Regardless of the fact, if I was still holding all of it, it would probably be around $3,000-4,000 profit. Okay. Anyway, I'm still happy with what happened, and I'm not going to complain. So as of right now, I've still got around 6,000 USDT in this short position. I do expect lower. That being said, I have taken majority of my profits, 1,350 AUD. So if we close it all now, we'd be making around 1,500. So it pays for flights to Dubai or something, right? Anyway, let's dive into what I'm expecting, what you can be expecting, and the levels to be looking at, okay? Because I think it's going to be very important. But I think first of all, let's quickly have a look at what the order flow was doing at that time. So we were coming into this low. I was seeing, well, what I was seeing here was we were seeing longs just close their positions, right? So you had open interest declining, and you had negative delta. So that's longs closing. So longs closing, longs closing, longs closing. Normally that's a sign that we're coming into some sort of stop, because the longs are getting squeezed out of the positions basically. So that was seen here. You had one drive, two drives, three drive pattern coming into this low here. It wasn't a giant significant low. If we just want to zoom in on that, what you could see was you had a small little fair value gap here from here to here. You also had some volume, which is positioned right over here at this low here. So you had a few undercuts. So let me just put this up. One undercut, 1, 2, 3. 3 drives pattern, very typical in the marketplace, especially when you've seen that those longs get destroyed as they're going there, okay? Then what happened is we rebounded, and I bet you it's going to be the exact same thing. If not, we'll have to analyze it, right? Okay, so coming into this high, what do we have? We had, what do we have? Longs. Okay, we did have longs closing up here too. We had, we had that's also good too. We had longs open into the top of the range, which means that if we go down, they're trapped, and it causes a increase down. And now I just want to see this one. This is interesting. What we've got here is a bunch of new longs entering the marketplace. We've got 900K, 10 million. We've also got some shorts. We've also got another positive open interest of of that amount. So what that's showing me is we're making a lower low, a higher high in CVD and open interest. That's very bearish. So to me, what we're going to be doing is making another low here. So we've also got, yeah. To me, what this looks like is we got a bunch of people who are long right here. And if we just undercut them a bit lower, probably take out these lows, we're going to go for the next leg lower, okay? So my base case is still lower in this price action. That being said, I wouldn't short it. We've already missed out on optimal entries. So I will capture a little bit of it. This might end up hitting 300 to 200 and something extra profit, okay? That being said, you can't sit here and cry about your foolish acts, right? I shouldn't have closed my position there realistically, but I'm not going to complain when you still made a good amount of money in the market. Most people are losing in this marketplace. So it pays to be aware of what's happening. Now, anyway, I want to go and show you what I'm expecting right now and the levels which I think are very important, because that's going to pop up on this chart here. Let's just remove some of my analysis from last night. So one thing I want to highlight that's going to be very important. I think we have a very, very strong piece of volume down here. 111,000. Okay. That's a strong piece of volume. What it also coincides with is resistance, support. So breakout, support, breakdown, resistance, retest, up. So we've got a few levels here which are important. Now, what I want to accompany that with is a volume weighted average. Volume weighted average is also converging into this point. Okay, so we're having a convergence act here. So what that's going to look like is as time goes on, this is going to extend, and then this is going to come closer to this. So we might see something like this come into the marketplace, or it might rebound faster. The reason I'm eyeing this level out is because we do have a CME gap around 111,000. So somewhere around this region here. So if we can do that and close that gap, there's very high likelihood it can do that, considering we're already back in the range. What we saw here was a failed auction of this high, resumption back into the range under the value area high. We had a small local support here, rebound back up into resistance, clear rejection, resumption down. So your base case is you'd expect lower prices until we hit major support. In the meantime, we can ping pong here for sure, but the base case is you would keep your short open. And even like, that's why I did take some profits. I shouldn't have taken as much profits as I have, but that's the base case, right? Definitely this level down here. On a daily aspect, there's not much levels that are coinciding here. We've also got this one up here now that's, oh, no, it hasn't formed because there's a wick that's through it. 4-hour chart. If we look at the 4-hour chart, we also have a 4-hour candle close here. That's a support level, which coincides. If we pop a Fibonacci, we've got a 0.5 region here. Now, ultimately, you don't want to be looking and trying to append a narrative to a position, to a place in the chart. But that being said, it is important to look at what you're looking at and form a good idea, okay? So what are we looking at here? There's people trend lines. Well, we're teetering around this little trend line, okay? So that's what's happening right now. It definitely could be a bounce, but order flow to me, if you look at this, is showing that, I don't know, I wouldn't expect it to happen until we see a lot of these positions close. So a lot of these longs, you want to see them close ultimately. Now, it hasn't been balanced out yet because we had 9 million and 10 million and 17. So there's still a large amount of longs in the market. So we're going to close the order flow. I don't need that anymore. So really what I'm expecting is somewhere in this region, we're going to be finding support. Okay. So mark that out in your chart. And also I just want to highlight, we also have solid support down here, which I went over in the last video. So here and here, those are your two supports. I'm going to be checking order flow during that whole entire time in the chart. So that's not going to be a concern. Okay. So let's pop up the stochastics and the market cipher. I like to use these. Yeah, so we got a rollover on the stochastic. It makes sense that we come down range here for a bit, resume up. What do we else we got? 4-hour. 4-hour says we could potentially have a bounce. That being said, I would still expect an undercut. But I don't see why we're going to rebound up really fast right now. I'm also thinking like this, and then a resumption up. Just like it's been doing the whole entire time here. Like, why would you expect it to just candle up like that, right? You don't want to be not realistic. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. I hope this video made sense. Feel free to subscribe. Check out my past content. Yeah, I'm still in that position. I'm not going to close that out yet. Majority of it's out anyway, so I'm only $6,000 in it. But yeah, like that's the power of being patient, not worrying, not stressing. But also, there's definitely some lessons to learn along there. Like I obviously took that compound way too early, and then closed out that position too early. So it was, that's the thing with time zones and that sort of stuff. You gotta append your sleep because as you can see, my eyes are very baggy. I haven't slept much, but yeah, that's trading, right? Like ultimately, I want to be out of this time zone into somewhere where I can actually trade during the normal sessions of volume and not be 3 a.m. trying to do it. It's very difficult, but anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. For now, have a really good day, and let's blow this candle out because we're going to drop lower, guys.